Hello my friends and welcome to my channel. For those of you who are new, I'm Gina Louise. For those of you who have been here before, thank you for tuning back in. I thought I'd make a little mini series of showing you how I make my pumpkins for Halloween. I'm not a fan of the color orange, so it's not in my home decor. I've seen lots of fall stuff that I think is pretty with orange, but it just doesn't work in my house. So I like to keep my pumpkins neutral, maybe a little bit of Tiffany blues in there, but for the most part, they're neutrals. I've been making sweater pumpkins and lace pumpkins for probably 2 decades, and now I see people making them all over on Etsy and YouTube and Pinterest, and I like to think I'm one of the original designers of the sweater pumpkin. Well, one can dream. You have to watch this to the end because I'm going to show you how to make 2 amazing, realistic looking pumpkin stems. 2 different ways, both super, super cool, super easy, and realistic looking. So we're going to start off with, what else? A Dollar Tree foam pumpkin, like everybody else. So I take my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster or white, and I just paint the foam pumpkins. As you can see on the side of the orange foam pumpkin that I'm painting right now are a bunch of teeny tiny pumpkins that I've already painted, which is in another video that will be up this week, and I'll show you what I do with those as well. So just keep painting your pumpkin all orange. Oopsie, paint it white or off-white. Use whatever paint you like. Chalk paint works really well on these pumpkins. I believe I did 2 coats on them. Now that your pumpkins are painted white, you're just going to take your box cutter, razor, whatever, piece of vintage lace. I have a piece of vintage crochet and a piece of vintage lace. So now you're just going to take your pumpkin and you're going to remove the stem. Take your box cutter, take your razor, whatever, a knife, just cut into the foam, remove it. Sometimes these pop right out, and sometimes you kind of have to like cut it out. But anyway, I'm cutting it out because I want a little bit of a hole on the top because we're going to start shoving the lace in it. See how easy peasy? Just keep shoving the lace, pulling it up, shoving it into the hole, adding a little dab of hot glue here and there if you need it. But that's how simple it is. It doesn't even matter what shape the piece of fabric is that you use because you just keep pulling and shoving it in, and look, you just stick a little hot glue there, poke it in, simple, and they're just so beautiful. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the crocheted lace that I have. And I just want to show you the different textures and how beautiful they come out with crochet or lace. And I got this beautiful lace and crochet from a new friend I made through Etsy. Her name is Linda, and she just is so sweet. And I met her from making masks over COVID, and she's a nurse that lives upstate. and we became friends through the internet, and she just sent me all these beautiful pieces of lace and asked me to just repurpose it. So I made a few pumpkins with it, and I just want to show you how pretty these come out. Remember, watch to the end because I'm going to show you how to make amazing pumpkin stems. Now we're going to make the stems for the pumpkins. We're going to use some nautical rope from Dollar Tree, and we're just going to use some brown craft paper that I always keep around. They come in Amazon boxes all the time, and Chewy, the dog food boxes. So now you're going to take the brown paper and you're going to roll it and twist it and crinkle it. And you're just going to keep doing that until you get it to the size or the length that you want. Now you're going to take some matte Mod Podge. I got this from the Dollar Tree. And you're just going to squeeze it onto the brown paper, and you're going to twist, twist, twist. You're going to get it nice and wet and just keep twisting it into the shape that you want and the tightness and the thickness, and you just keep going. This was a little too long for me. I didn't want it that long, so I just cut the end off. But I keep one end, I twist super, super tight, the end of it, and then the other end, I keep it a little looser as this becomes the base that is attached to the pumpkin. It's easier for you to watch what I'm doing rather than me explain what I'm doing. But right here, see, this is where I feel like it's too long. I don't want a pumpkin stem that long, so I'm cutting it. But I'm going to keep this part of it still wider than the other end, because when you attach it to the pumpkin, it just looks more realistic. So now I'm getting out a bigger thing of Mod Podge because I'm really going to put a lot of Mod Podge on it. I'm going to work it almost like it's clay, and I'm going to play it in with it and twist it around. There, shove it in. I want to get some more on there because I really want to get it wet. And I'm wearing gloves, so I advise you to do the same thing because it's messy, but wait till you see how awesome it comes out. Just twist it into your desired shape. And then after I do this, I put it outside in the sun so that it would dry. You have to let this dry before you attach it to your pumpkin. Okay, so while that's drying, we're going to make the other stem. And for this, we're going to use the nautical rope from Dollar Tree. So you're going to cut a piece, and I really want you to comment and let me know at the end which stem you like the best. And let me know why, because let me know if it's because it looks more realistic or because you think it's just easy to do. Yeah, I really want to know which stem you like best. Now you're going to take your piece of rope and you're going to unravel it. You're just going to twist it the opposite way, and you're going to pull the little ropes apart that create this one piece of rope. And then you're going to do the same procedure that you did with the last one. You're going to cover this with Mod Podge as well, and you're going to twist it all up, but you're going to do something very different. Just keep adding Mod Podge and getting it really, really wet, because it's so much easier to work with when you soak it up good. So just pour it on there, dip it in, whatever you got to do, but get it really wet with the Mod Podge and work it into that shape again. Now here's my little secret how I make realistic stems. You're going to take cinnamon, and you can buy this from the Dollar Tree too, and you're going to coat the rope with the cinnamon, and you're going to twist that in, and it changes the color and the texture as it dries, and it looks so realistic. By the way, I forgot to mention that if you don't have vintage lace like I used or crochet, the Dollar Tree sells little lace doilies that work perfect. You can use those as well. So technically, this entire project can be made with all Dollar Tree items. Every single thing here you could buy in the Dollar Tree. I just love vintage lace, and even though I told you that a friend of mine sent me this vintage lace, I have plenty of vintage lace. I use lace in a lot of things I do. In my clothing designs, just in pillows, and just so much stuff I use it in. Because I've always loved the shabby chic look, and I love that feminine and vintage look. So here I am, I'm just pushing on that cinnamon and getting it in this and twisting it around. And as the Mod Podge is starting to dry, it's getting stiffer, and it's actually making it so much easier to form this rope into like the curve and the way a stem would actually look. So I really love this technique, and I really want you to let me know if you try it, and you will see what it looks like when it dries. It looks amazing. I got this wire jute cord from the Dollar Tree as well, and this is what I use to make my little curlicues. Here are my stems dry. I put them outside to dry in the sun. They're both dry and ready to go. And so I take this and I'll cut a piece of this, and I will just wrap it around a pen or a pencil to get a tight little curlicue, and I will add this to my pumpkin. Now this is my favorite part, when I get to embellish them and make them all pretty and frilly. So I put on my little curlicues, and I'm going to add my stems to them. And I like to put in some lace ribbons and raffia and some of that crunchy, I forget what it's called, that pretty like wrinkly seam binding that I buy from Etsy that's so pretty in cream colors. And then I embellish it with sparkly crystal and rhinestone pins. So now I just put some hot glue on my little curlicue, and I'm just going to push that into the hole. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, share the video, it helps my channel grow, and please consider subscribing to my channel. Now I'm taking the stem that I made from the brown craft paper, and I'm just cutting some of the bottom off because it was a little too long, and I'm spreading it out. Look how great that came out. I love the way that stem came out. And now I'm using a little E6000 to glue it down. And I'm going to add some hot glue as well. And then I'm going to really press the stem down good on that. Hold it for a little bit so the hot glue holds it. But then I have to let it dry, because you need the E6000 to really give it a permanent hold. Now I'm just making another one of those curlicues with the wire jute cord, and I'm just wrapping around a pencil, cutting it, and I'm going to hot glue it in the center. Now I'm just gluing on the cinnamon, the stem that I made with the cinnamon, again, the E6000 to make sure it's a permanent hold, and a little hot glue so that it can do an immediate hold. And I love the way this stem came out as well. I'm not sure which one I love more because I'm making more pumpkins and I just love them both. I spread out the bottom of the rope a little bit on this one so it has that look of the top of a pumpkin. The way this stem just sprawls out there. It just came out beautiful. I'm really interested in knowing which stem you guys like the best. Oh my God, I just love the way the stem came out. What do you think? I just love it. Now I'm going to embellish both of them. My favorite part. Now I'm just grabbing my satin ribbons and my lace ribbon and my crinkled seam binding ribbon in marshmallow colors and creams and some raffia. And I just love, this was from a gift, and I just love this pretty like cream colored satin ribbon. And I'm going to put that on one of them. And I'm going to use some of the lace ribbon and also this crinkled seam binding ribbon that I just love. So pretty. I'm just going to fold the lace over, cut it. I'm going to secure it with a pipe cleaner, ducktail the ends. Just going to put this right in the center. I put the pipe cleaner and then I just keep adding to that pipe cleaner. So I take the crinkled ribbon. This is how I make my little shabby chic bows. I'll take the crinkled seam binding ribbon and I'll flip that in the center. I'll throw some raffia in the center. I'll keep twisting it around. And then I'm going to take it, after I put all these little bows in the center of that pipe cleaner, and then I'm just going to twist it around, cut off the extra pieces of pipe cleaner, and I'm going to hot glue it on my pumpkin. And it just looks so shabby chic and so beautiful. And I love to finish it off with a blingy pin. Look how beautiful that came out. I just absolutely love it. And now I'm going to do the same thing here, except I'm using that satin ribbon. And I'm going to just make this one all shabby chic and pretty. Tying some bows around the stem, just adding some of the binding to make those little tails hanging. And here are the final results. I hope you love this video. I hope you like shabby chic pumpkins as much as I do. Let me know which stem you like better. You're going to see some other pumpkins in the background that I created. That's going to be on another video coming up. Thanks for watching.